What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report. You are joining Jason and I as we have a quick discussion about the game we just played, which was Spider Foes into A-Force. So yeah, if you guys didn't watch it, the game did end with 21-14 for A-Force with a very strong round 3 turnaround for A-Force there. So Jason, I'm going to ask the same question I ask everyone, for most part anyway. Would you have made any changes to your squad?
To my squad, no, I don't think so. I was pretty happy with most of them. Mysterio didn't really perform, but he's always kind of hit or miss. Sometimes he does really well, sometimes he doesn't. Cards, on the other hand, I really underutilized. I think Escort to Safety, I don't know if maybe there was a good chance for me to play it, but I didn't really see one this game, so...
You were very power starved for this game.
I was. The amount of stuns made Escort to Safety, Patch Up, and even Lethal Protector at the end. I was looking at Venom like, oh, he's got one power left, it's not happening.
The early game where I decided not to grab the other witness and just stun 4 guys on your team, like, that was massive. I think that was that really got the ball rolling on a certain pattern for me. And it told me exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of the game there, right?
Yeah, well, because like you were saying, the turnaround was absolutely massive, and I think I attribute a lot of that to those stuns.
Yes, I would agree completely, actually.
I was so power starved I couldn't punch at that level anymore, and you had all this power because I've been punching you pretty hard, and it was just like, well, yeah, here you get to play the game, and I'm going to be killed.
A-Force shifting power over to everyone, getting, like, Danvers was in binary form for 3 rounds.
Yeah,
which is like
you never see that.
Yeah, that's unheard of. I mean, Danvers never gets to do that, so that actually felt good. This is the first time I felt really good about using Captain Marvel. Yeah. So I'm super excited by that because I really dig this Captain Marvel model. I like my paint job I did on it. I've always been really happy with it.
Oh yeah.
So I was very happy to do that. Now I want to talk about friggin' Hood. God damn Hood, man. Like, he just popped off. He did not go down to Spider-Woman. He punked her.
What's amazing about him, too, is that he never actually flipped to his possessed form, where he's supposed to be more lethal. He just did solid on his own here.
He did, absolutely. And he was a thorn in my side. Like, I had to keep activating around. I thought he was going to be an easy days for me, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be said and done. I thought Spider-Woman was just going to, like, go to town and take him out. No, did not happen. Which is kind of, I was hoping for Spider-Woman to do more stuff in this game, right?
Unfortunately, I killed her a little fast round 1 there. Hood just did absolute crazy amounts of work into her, and then next round I just kind of piled everything on.
Yeah. Now, one caveat we have to put onto this is we're making the assumption that Spider-Woman was A-Force affiliated.
Yes.
I think it's very important that we mention that, because if she was not A-Force affiliated, I would not have been getting all that extra power and all that sort of stuff, So hopefully, the release doesn't come out and, make this a bad battle report for that one. But we're operating off limited information here. So we made a judgment call there. So I'm just going to put that out there.
You can only future-proof so much.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I think it was a very interesting game. Like the cube fragments, I was able to monopolize a lot of them throughout the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just helped keep you power starved. And because She-Hulk had so many of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, how do you got to dig through a bunch of damage.
Well, it was that round 3, right, where you dazed both of the characters who were sitting over there. They each had one of them had a cube, so you were able to put extra cubes on She-Hulk. You were also able to steal Hood's cube away from him with a Venom Blast, and it was just like, yeah, you didn't kill Hood, but you still took him out of the objective game at least.
Yeah, and I was able, like, by sacrificing the first turn witness, I was able to kind of get the ball rolling for you. I gotta admit though, your first 2 rounds had me really worried. You were getting up on points. Like, I think, what was it? You were at like, 9 points to my 3 or something?
I was at 11 when you were at 5.
That's right.
Yeah. It was 11-5, and then you took every single objective on the board that round.
I needed that big round. I will say this. I think the amount of cubes you picked up on Venom did hurt you in the long run.
It did. Venom was struggling this game to just stay alive.
Well, he got shanked by a witness twice.
Yeah.
Right? He got shanked by a witness twice. The cubes took out, like, by the time I actually started attacking Venom, he only had 2 health left.
Yeah.
Right?
No, 5 damage to Venom was done from objective.
I love the imagery of just this random civilian just like, holy, what's that? Shank! And just like stabbing Venom in the kidneys. Like.
And I think that was one thing I did wrong this game, was I clumped up guys around civilians, so I was letting you hit 2 guys every round with a civilian, and that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, because it's each character within range 1 suffers the... Like, I was thinking it was just like you choose one, but no, that's Terrigen Mist that does the 1 damage to 1 character, I think. Which is no longer in the game. But yeah, I think you got a little overzealous with going up to the citizens. I think what should have happened is like maybe Mysterio takes one and maybe Hood takes the other, and then everyone else just kind of runs up and
Stays a little back from it.
yeah, like either stays a little bit back or runs up to gank the rest of my team, right?
Well, yeah, I should have at least given you the choice. Like, if you're going to put it on Widow, that's fine, but then you're not putting it on Mysterio sort of thing. But I put them close enough you could do both, and I did it on both sides of the board.
Now, something I think that had a massive impact on the game was that early turn where I failed to do any damage to Goblin, but I slowed him regardless.
That slow was so debilitating to him all game, and honestly, I wanted you to flip him for so long this game, because he's another character who he never actually got to see the other side of him. Like, him and Hood both have kind of this dynamic where they get different abilities.
Yeah, he gets more aggressive on his injured side, yeah. And that was actually something that happened. Like after that first turn, I thought, okay, well, I don't think the game plan is to go into Goblin this game, right? The game was to go into everyone else. Because by not hurting Goblin early on and slowing him, it shut off your hit and run for a while.
Yeah.
It shut off your Knight of the Goblin for a little while. Like there were so many things that you now couldn't do. You couldn't do your explode terrain thing. I can't remember what that's
Yeah,
called.
no, I pretty much never got to do it. Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Mysterio also never got to pop Tricks and Traps because he never had the power for it when he was alive. It was, yeah, no, you completely shut down all of my movement trickery and stuff like that.
Which I'm actually really surprised I did. I wasn't expecting to be able to do that as effectively as I did. I think by getting in your face as early as I did, like this little ball of death right in the middle there, right? Like that was freaking bonkers. I got so lucky that I was in bodyguard range of Wong.
Yeah.
And that was one of those. Is like, oh, was I smart? And it's like, oh, thank bloody hell.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot She-Hulk's a bodyguard. Honestly, I've played so little against her that I had no idea she was even going to be.
I love She-Hulk. I know a lot of people really dig Hulk a lot more, but honestly, I love She-Hulk. She's one of my favorite characters in this game.
She seems great.
I think she's amazing. She has the sensational uppercut. She has the superior weight training. Like I got good mileage out of all my throws in this game.
Well, the other thing that I think was really, really big, especially towards the end of the game there, was the pull you got on, or the face me you got on Hood, where you put him in this perfect position where he can't shoot any of your guys here, and he can't see.
That one is courtesy of my buddy Vince Chan. He taught me to use face me that way, or you don't have to move the person the full thing because it's in advance, right?
Advance, yeah.
If it was a push or something like that, then yeah, you have to go the full way.
And that pretty much locked Hood out of doing, like, he had to move. It was basically your staggered Hood.
Yeah.
And that meant he wasn't going to be able to both kill Spider-Woman and then do anything to this side of the board.
He still killed Spider-Woman.
Yes.
Good on him for that. But yeah, I think that's actually what it came down to. Like, between the face me and the slow on Goblin, I had a couple, like, not staggers on you.
Yeah.
Because I kept shutting you down that way, and unfortunately the guys who were stuck in the team here, they weren't quite up to... I was terrified of Venom all game, for the record, man. Like, I was so afraid of Venom, because you've used Venom to very good effect against me in a number of games. And in fact, I think this is the first game we've played where I feel like I was able to shut Venom down nicely.
Yeah.
But I think most of that was self-inflicted because of your cubes and like friendly neighborhood citizen with a shank here.
Venom was in a really weird spot this game. Like he's definitely, I'd say, my favorite model to run in this game in general. I run him in almost every affiliation that I play.
He's great. I love him.
He's a fantastic piece. But yeah, this game, because he was so, I think partially because he was power starved, he didn't really get to do what he wanted to do. Despite the fact that he was holding cubes all game, he felt power starved.
Well, the funny thing is that he was power starved, but he was power starved for the first 2 rounds, which were big.
Yeah.
Right. And then by the time round 3 rolled around, I had priority. I'm just like, you have all this power. Nah.
Exactly.
Nah, we're done here.
Yeah.
And then I mean, you did use it to follow me. Now I do think you probably should have followed me into Goblin. To be honest.
So once I realized that I wasn't going to kill Spider-Woman, I probably, that's where I should have, or I wasn't going to kill Spider-Woman without moving, I should say. Mm-hmm. That was where, yeah, you're right. I should have went into Goblin and honestly probably had him either do what he did, what he ended up doing anyways, but just do it earlier, or even move him up.
For the record, She-Hulk only had 9 health left.
Yeah,
2 good Goblin turns might have actually been able to...
There was a world where I tried to target out She-Hulk. I usually, like, the entire reason why Venom got rammed today was because She-Hulk A-Force, that's a really rude thing I can pull in early and just beat on and kill by round 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
But I lost that opportunity because just the way things got deployed, Venom kind of had to take this flank.
I also went very hard over on this flank, right? Like it's
So because of that, Venom, I just kind of decided early on I wasn't going to kill She-Hulk, and I kind of just stuck to that all game. But maybe I should have flipped that.
You got close.
Yeah.
you did get close. Because what you could have done is you could have done a bag of tricks to try and get an Incinerate on her, right?
Yeah.
Into a Knight of the Goblin.
Yeah.
Because then I'm only rolling 2 physical defense dice against that, and Knight of the Goblin I think is what, 7 dice?
Yeah. So Knight of the Goblin's 7, and then the pumpkin bombs would have been what I would do for the Incinerate.
Yeah. Because then what you could have also done, because I completely failed to take out Hood over here.
Yeah.
Like theoretically, Hood could have then activated and maybe finished her off if I don't know. There was a path there. I'm not going to say you had an easy path. I think after round 3 it was all an uphill path for you. But I think there was a couple things that maybe if you'd done it a little bit differently, it might have given you a little bit more.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, I think there was a couple dice rolls that also went really wonky for both of us.
Both sides, I think. Yeah, we both had some really explosive, weird stuff. Like you pointed out, Hood was wild this game.
And I mean, I got really lucky with Spider-Woman not being dropped by Venom.
Yep.
Like being left out 1 health. Like
Venom really needed to kill Spider-Woman there because if he did, that meant the follow me into Hood would have had Hood come over here and empowered, or not empowered Dark, but Dark Lightning to kill Wong.
Yeah.
And do damage to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so that was huge. That was huge. Spider-Woman being able to remain standing on that one was really big, and that was always going to be thankful for that. I will say this: there were so many rounds where I wanted to throw this truck.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I didn't throw the truck because I think the truck actually did so much work for me.
It was funny because if you remember when you were placing down terrain at the very beginning and you put the truck there, I was like, you're sure that's not going to screw you out of anything? And it ended up doing a lot of work for you this game.
Yeah, I kept looking, it's like, I got 2 size 4 throws, this is great. It's just I never threw the truck and I wanted to throw the truck. But in the end, I think not throwing the truck was for the best because, I mean, it made it so Widow did not have a clear path over here, Goblin didn't have a clear path over. There was a lot of stuff that the truck ended up really impacting the game there. But anyway, I think we've said what we need to say about the game. So Jason, thanks for coming out, man. Hopefully we'll see you back on the channel again.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, and we will see all you guys next time. Now remember, if you want another way to support the channel, you can go check out the Patreon link in the description below. Any support always helps, and we love you all for it. Otherwise, happy wargaming, and we'll see you next time.